In today's video, we'll explore Italy from every angle. Its natural forces like active volcanoes, its economic position in Europe, everyday expenses such as rent and groceries, the salaries of different professions, and even surprising opportunities like €1 homes. We'll also touch on the influence of the mafia. Let's dive in. Italy covers about 301,340 square kilometers, making it the 73rd largest country in the world. It shares borders with France, Switzerland, Austria, and Slovenia, and it's surrounded by the Adriatic, Tyrrhenian, and Mediterranean seas. What's really interesting is that Italy is also home to two independent microstates, Vatican City and San Marino. Italy is also a country of islands. Sicily, covering 25,711 square kilometers, is the largest island in the Mediterranean and home to Europe's most active volcano, Mount Etna. Sardinia, at 24,090 square kilometers, is famous for its untouched coves. Capri, Ischia, and more than 400 smaller islands create a mosaic of stunning landscapes. Italy ranks 25th in the world by population, with 58.8 million people. About 85% of them are Italians, 8% are European immigrants, 5% are of African and Asian origin, and the remaining 2% belong to other nationalities. Interestingly, most Italians actually live outside of Italy. There are around 30 million people of Italian descent in Argentina, 25 million in Brazil, and 18 million in the United States. When we look at the age distribution, Italy stands out for its elderly population. Young people make up just 12.2%. The working age population is 63.5%, and seniors account for 24.3%. That makes Italy the second oldest country in the world, right after Japan. But why? The answer lies in the fertility rate. Italy's is just 1.2 children per woman, far below the 2.1 needed to keep the population stable. Italy is the heart of Catholicism, as it is home to the Vatican, the center of the Roman Catholic Church. Around 75% of Italians identify as Catholic, but only about 1 in 5 regularly attend church. In recent years, Italy has also become more diverse, with growing Muslim, Orthodox, Protestant, Hindu, and Buddhist communities. So while Catholic tradition still defines the country, modern Italy is increasingly multicultural. Now, let's look at Italy's religious distribution. 3% are Muslim, 5% are other Christians such as Protestants and Orthodox, 17% identify as agnostic or atheist, and the vast majority, about 75%, are Catholic. With a GDP of $2.42 trillion, Italy is the 8th largest economy in the world. Home to global giants like Gucci, Prada, Armani, Lamborghini, Ferrari, and Vespa, Italy truly deserves the title of Emperor of Luxury Brands. In 2024, Italy's exports reached $778 billion, ranking 11th worldwide. The main export categories are clothing and fashion technology at 37%, machinery, vehicles, and industrial technologies at 31%, chemical and healthcare products at 16%, and energy at 6%. On the import side, Italy ranked 13th in 2024 with $717 billion. Key imports include energy and raw materials at 19%, vehicles and machinery at 27%, chemical and pharmaceutical products at 14%, and other products, such as optical and medical devices, textiles, and food, making up 40%. One of Italy's biggest sources of income is tourism, with 58 million visitors every year. It ranks 5th in the world. At Rome's Trevi Fountain, tourists throw in about 15,000 euros in coins every single day, hoping their wishes will come true. The Colosseum, once the stage of gladiator battles, and now one of Rome's greatest symbols, welcomes 7.6 million visitors a year, making it the most visited ancient structure in the world. And then there's Venice, a city with no cars where people move only by gondolas and vaporettos. Each year it attracts 30 million tourists. That's 600 times its tiny population of just 50,000. So what about salaries in Italy? Italy does not have a fixed national minimum wage. In general, the lowest salaries start at around 900 euros, while the average monthly income is about 1,600 euros. Engineers earn around 2,000 euros, teachers about 1,500, while doctors and dentists make roughly 3,500. Lawyers average 2,000, waiters around 1,200, and police officers about 2,500. And in the fashion capital of the world, Italy, fashion designers earn an average average of 3,000 euros, with experienced designers making as much as 5,000 euros. In recent years, finding a job in Italy has become increasingly difficult. The country has the third highest youth unemployment rate in Europe, at 22.7%. Italy also has a unique system similar to the Spanish siesta, called riposo. These are midday breaks when shops close for a few hours. In the north, riposo usually lasts less than 2 hours, while in the south it can stretch to 3 or even 4. Large and tourist-oriented businesses often skip it, but many small local shops still follow the tradition. Italians say riposo is meant for spending time with family and enjoying lunch together. For many years, chain pizza and coffee shops never made it into Italy. The reason? Italians didn't want their culture to change. In fact, when the first McDonald's tried to open in Italy back in 1986, locals protested by handing out free plates of spaghetti right in front of the restaurant, fearing that Italy was about to be Americanized. One of the biggest differences between northern and southern Italy is education. In Rome, the capital in the north, stands Sapienza University. Its name means wisdom in Italian. It is the largest university in Europe and the second largest in the world. The University of Bologna, the oldest university in the world, is also located in the north. For this reason, many students from the south move north to study. When people think of Italy, one of the first things that comes to mind is the Italian mafia. Especially in the south of the country, the mafia's influence is so strong that in some regions it has even surpassed the state in the eyes of the people. Imagine small shopkeeper. You open a store, but in order for your business to run smoothly, you have to pay a certain amount every month as protection money to the mafia. Even large investments, and sometimes business deals, are almost impossible to make without the mafia's approval. To show how deeply this influence is felt in daily life, let's take car theft as an example. Let's say your car was stolen and you went to the police. Of course, the police file a report, but most of the time, nothing comes out of it. There is a saying among the people: the real solution is found by the mafia. This situation clearly shows the shadow of the mafia in social life, despite the presence of the state. The numbers also support this picture. In Italy, there are about 222 car thefts per 100,000 people, ranking the country third in the world. This clearly demonstrates how serious the problem has become. Italy's culinary culture also holds a very special place in the world. Just think about it. Italians have 350 types of pasta, 50 types of coffee, and more than 500 varieties of wine. And it's not just about variety. Consumption is just as impressive. On average, an Italian consumes 36 kilos of pasta, 44 liters of wine, 6 liters of coffee, and 41 loaves of bread every year. So what does a classic Italian's daily eating routine look like? Breakfast is usually eaten outside. A cappuccino and a sweet pastry called cornetto are the go-to choices, but here's the catch. You'll never see cheese, olives, or eggs on the breakfast table. Why? Because Italians keep breakfast light. They save their appetite for lunch and especially for dinner. Lunch starts around 12 to 1 p.m. Traditionally, it's considered the most important meal of the day. In the north, busy people often grab a quick slice of pizza or a sandwich. But in Italian culture, both lunch and dinner are ideally enjoyed at a properly set table with care and attention. Dinner, however, is almost a ritual. Families always gather together, and the meal follows a very specific order. It begins with antipasti, small appetizers to open the appetite. Then comes the star of the evening, pasta. And there's an unspoken rule: nobody moves on until everyone finishes their pasta. After that comes a meat dish with a side, followed by dessert and fruit. And it doesn't end there. After every meal comes an espresso. But note, in Italy, coffee is never served with dessert. It always comes after. In fact, if a restaurant brings coffee and dessert together, it's considered rude, almost like telling the customer it's time to leave. The very last step is the digestivo, an alcoholic drink meant to aid digestion. In short, eating in Italy is not just about filling your stomach. It's a cultural ritual, a way of life. So how much does it actually cost to live in Italy when it comes to rent? In the capital city Rome and in Milan, a one-bedroom apartment usually costs between 800 and 1,600 euros per month, while a two-bedroom apartment ranges from 1,200 to 2,000 euros. Of course, if you want to live in the city center, you'll pay more. But as you move away from the center, prices become more affordable. But here's something surprising. Did you know you can buy a house in Italy for just €1? This started in 2019 as part of a campaign to revive small towns and renovate old houses. The main condition is renovation. Renovation costs usually range between 20,000 and 120,000 euros. And if there's high demand for a property, the houses are sold through auctions. So, what about supermarket prices in June 2025? At a Lidl supermarket in Italy, here are the prices. 18 eggs for €3, tomatoes 1.2 euros per kilo, apples €1, peaches 2.2 euros, cherries 10 euros, lemons 1.8 euros, cucumbers €1, bananas 1.4 euros, watermelon €1 per kilo, and pasta only 0.59 euros per pack. Alright, now I want to hear from you. Would you live in Italy? Got any weird or cool facts about it? Or maybe a country you'd love me to talk about next? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next country deep dive.